Hello and welcome to your over-enthusiastic game guide. I'm SerroDan. This guide is going to show you how to solo the Throne of Thunder 10-man normal mode, part 2. Okay, again, let's get straight into it. The first boss you'll come across in here is Tortos. Now, this here boss, if you haven't guessed from the name of it, is a great big bloody tortoise, who has gotten himself a little bit wedged in a little hole, as you can see. Now, if you've got slow DPS, then this fight is probably going to be a lot of fun for you. You'll probably spend most of your time walking the ceiling rather than the ground, but we'll get to that. So because this boss is most probably aggravated from being wedged in a tiny little hole, wishing he was at least half claustrophobic than he really is, he does pack quite a bit of a punch, or bite. Throughout this fight, Tortos will continuously snap at you with a snapping bite, and this does hardly any damage at all, nothing a little DPS leech can't resolve. You'll also have little stalactites falling from the ceiling, and you can see where these are going to land because the big blue circle surrounding its impact area. You know, the exact blue circle you get in real life too. I mean, come on. Now, if you've not noticed already, Tortos is not the only tortoise in here. In fact, he will call upon little tortoise minions, which will come spinning all over the battlefield, fixating you, and if they hit you, then you'll be punted up in the air. Now, these little ads do form a purpose, so we need to quickly kill them off so they go into hiding. Oh, but we're not done there. We need to add insult to injury to these little buggers by giving them a good kick at the right moment. Now, throughout the fight, you'll have the kick shell ability. This is where you target the hiding tortoise minion and kick him in the straight direction where you are standing behind him. I wonder where they got this brand new idea from. And the only time you need to do this is when Tortos starts casting his furious stone breath. Not smelly, but stone breath. Kicking a turtle at him when he begins to cast this will stop him from breathing all over you, and you need to do this because this ability will do a lot of damage to you. The next ability here that does a lot of damage also is his Quake Stomp. It's best when this comes in that you use some sort of damage mitigation because this does damage equal to 65% of your maximum health, and once this hits, it will prompt lots of stalactites to fall on you. Just on you, nowhere else. Homing stalactites, you know. Oh, and you'll also have some pain in the arse bats which will come fill up your screen, but they're easy to one-shot. You really don't have to worry about them. And as the fight goes on, you'll probably get more tortoise minions pinging you about here and there, but if you just watch out for the damage you take and when to kick the shells, you'll find yourself killing him no problem. So to get to the next boss, we need to break 3 ancient Mogu bells, which are located here. After destroying all 3 of them, we'll then be able to go to the boss. Now the next boss in here is this giraffe neck lizard type water snake thing, and this is most probably the easiest boss in here, Megaera. So to complete the fight, you'll have to kill 7 of these heads, and there are always 2 up at the time, which you can target. And killing a particular colour head will give it a new ability, because once you kill a head, it disappears off in the back of the room, because you obviously scared it with your awesomeness for getting this far in the first place. Now if you kill a green head, the boss will gain an acid rain ability. This will target a specific area, i.e. where you are, and light it up with a green swirly thing. And you'll need to move out this fast because something green and bad is coming your way, and we don't want that. It's just a little bit of damage which you can avoid. If you kill a blue head, then the boss will gain a torrent of ice ability, and this will chase you down with a cold laser beam of ice and leave a nice cold patch under your feet, which hurts and slows you. And if you kill a red head, then the boss will gain a cinders ability, which will place a debuff on you, and once it expires, it will leave a nice patch of fire under your feet. And like fire in all instances, it does hurt, so jump out of that, once you've put it somewhere safe of course. Now each time you kill a head of a certain colour, and that same colour appears again later in the fight, you'll notice it has a buff increasing the colour's head damage by 15%, and this does stack. So if you are struggling with health, it may be wise to kill 2 green, 2 blue and 3 red heads. So ping off green, red, blue, red, green, red, blue. But if your DPS is decent, then, well, you make the rules yourself and you kill what you want to kill. Hell. But during the fight, be sure not to take too much damage from the Arctic Freeze, which is done by the blue head, weirdly, when it breathes on you. So much breathing in one raid. If you gain 5 stacks of this, you'll be stunned for 20 seconds. So, let's avoid that. One final ability this boss does is Rampage. This happens each time you chop off a head, and it does a little bit of damage to you every second for the next 20 seconds, but it's easy to heal yourself up from it. But other than watching which heads you're killing, there's really not a lot to this fight. It's just an appendix of Throne of Thunder, really. Enjoy. After dodging or melting in the slimy hands of the snails, you come to Ji-Kun. Snails don't have hands. Now this boss does drop something of interest for most players, a mount, the Clutch of Ji-Kun, or a little baby pet. Again, another 1% drop rate mount, so you may have to run this for a few times unless you're one of those players which take it home on the first try. Great. So throughout this fight, Ji-Kun is being that protective mother that she really is, and is trying to feed her children mid-fight. What a trooper. And if they are fed, they will turn into bigger ads which will come up and aid. Aid the boss, not you, obviously. So we need to stop this from happening. We can't be having this. So at the start of the fight, we're going to touch the boss to engage and jump down to the nest and kill the little babies and steal its food. Sounds rather brutal, actually, come to think of it. I think Blizz had a very dark period back then. Anyway, now how do we steal its food and how do we get back up? Well, not only do we kill the babies, but we also steal its hopes and dream of being able to fly. Oh gosh, this just doesn't get any better, does it? Wow. Okay. But doing this, you'd also get an extra action button which will allow you to grow wings and fly, so you can get back up to the platform. So every time the boss casts the Feed Young ability, you'll see this green blobby stuff heading to the nest. Now if you intercept that whilst you are flying, you will eat the food and gain a buff which will increase the damage you do by a wicked 100%. While you are dealing with the boss, you'll have a few abilities to look out for. There's one ability which does a lot of damage to you, and that is Quills. This is a continuous damage every second for the next 8, so you may want to apply damage mitigation for this. If you are the main target of Ji-Kun, you'll also be targeted with Tail and Break, and this is a stacking debuff which will increase the damage you take from this ability each time. And also one final ability to look out for is Downdraft. This is where Ji-Kun will try to attempt to blow you off the edge. You won't die if you get pushed off, don't worry. It will just take an age to get back up. So when this does come into play, use some sort of speed increase or charge if you're a warrior. Just anything to prevent you from falling down, really. So to recap, we want to jump off, kill the baby, steal its food and its ability to fly, fly back up, watch out for the abilities, steal future food from other babies and then kill them off. Oh god, I'm done. I'm done with this. This is too dark. This fight needs a little bit more love to it. God. Savage murderers, the lot of you. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, everything you wish. If you haven't checked out the previous guide, there's a link to it right here. Do check that one out, and I shall see you in the future. Cheers again, guys. Take care.